Are you tired of feeling like your stomach has its own agenda? Like the bloating, gas, or constant trips to the bathroom are running your life? Welcome to the Beyond Bloated podcast, the podcast where we tackle those frustrating gut issues head on, without strict diets or giving up your favorite foods. I'm Carly, a certified gut health coach who's been there, struggling with bloating that made me look 6 months pregnant, gut pain that kept me from enjoying meals, and fatigue so draining it felt impossible to get through the day. Now, I help women like you find freedom from those symptoms and take back control of their lives. Each week, we'll debunk gut health myths, dive into simple, actionable tips, and hear stories from women who've been exactly where you are. It's time to feel confident, energized, and bloat-free. Let's get started. Hello. Welcome back to the Beyond Bloated podcast, or welcome for the very first time. I have a message for all of you Spotify listeners. If you listen to this podcast on Spotify, I need you to do something for me, please. Pause this episode and go and give it a rating. I did a little mathematics, and only 38% of you who regularly listen to this podcast have rated it. I'm on to you. So I would really appreciate it if you could just give a quick little pause, go to the Spotify Beyond Bloated podcast page, click those 3 little dots, and give this podcast a star rating. I know you like it, you listen to it regularly, which I greatly appreciate. So just one more ask, give this podcast a rating. Thank you so much. Moving on to why you are actually here today, you want to know, how does Carly live her life? That's a great question. I'm a gut health coach, and you probably think, wow, she must live a pristine life where she eats kale salad every day and goes for walks and sees the morning sunlight every morning. If that is what you think about me, first of all, you probably have not been listening to this podcast, you have not been following my Instagram, or you're just ignoring everything that I say and you just still have this image of me. But you know what? I appreciate it. If you think I'm this perfect human being who lives this perfect life to keep my gut health in check, thank you. But I'm here to burst your bubble because I do not live a perfect life. I live a healthy lifestyle, for sure, but it's far from perfect. My goal for today is to out myself, really. I want to show you what a realistic lifestyle can look like and be gut supportive. So I'm not going to tell you do everything perfect because I don't do everything perfect. And I don't want you to think I have to do this crazy extreme lifestyle to heal my gut, because you don't. You do have to improve your habits and your diet, for sure. I drastically improved mine. If you listened to my episode a little while back where my best friend came on and talked all about my university years, and then you listen to this episode, you're going to say, wow, yeah, Carly changed a lot about her life, because I definitely did. But what I do is not extreme. I am not a gym rat. I don't even like salad. I love dessert. I even still drink alcohol on occasion. So I am not perfect. And in today's episode, I am going to walk you through a day in the life of Carly so you can fully understand what I do on a day-to-day basis. And then you can see it's really not that extreme and you can do it too. However, I also want to point out that how I live does not need to be how you live. This is an example of me living my life. You can take parts of it and put that into your life if it fits, if it feels good for you. But by no means am I saying you have to do exactly what I do, because you don't. The clients that I work with are very individual. I work with single women. I also work with moms of 4. It's very different, their lives. And I would never expect them to do the same thing. So please use this as an example, but don't follow it exactly. This is for me and my life. You and I are different. Okay, so let me walk you through an average day for Carly the gut health coach, the girl who used to be bloated and in pain and exhausted every single day and is now happy and thriving, loves her job, loves her life, loves her gut. Let's do it. Typically set an alarm for 7:30 a.m. on a weekday. Don't set an alarm on the weekend, and I usually get up around 8. So not that much different. If you require a sleep in on the weekend, that's totally cool. Don't feel guilty about it. Your body needs rest. I'm pretty sure the first thing that all of us do when we first wake up is use the washroom. Am I right? So, of course, I'm heading there, using the washroom, and then I brush my teeth. And this is because I have read that overnight you get a lot of bacteria in your mouth. It grows, especially if you're sleeping with your mouth open. You have that like yucky feel in your mouth, morning breath. That's because of the bacteria in your mouth. So I brush my teeth before I have anything to drink or anything to eat because I don't want that bacteria to get washed down into my gut. So I brush my teeth and I tongue scrape before I put anything else into my mouth. Then I head to the kitchen for some hydration. So overnight, we're sleeping, hopefully for 8 hours, but we're sleeping. We're dehydrated. You didn't drink for 7, 8 hours. Your body needs some water. So I start my day with a very gut-loving beverage. I either have a cup of bone broth, which I will make myself, or I will buy the like prepackaged powder that you just add boiling water to. Or I will have a glass of warm, fresh squeezed lemon water with a scoop of L-glutamine in it and a pinch of pink Himalayan sea salt. Or don't do both. I'll choose one or the other depending on how I'm feeling. There's really no rhyme or reason to it. If it's like a chilly day, I might be like, yeah, I could go for a bone broth. If it's a warmer day or I feel extra thirsty, I'll do the lemon water drink. The benefits of the bone broth are for gut health, of course. Bone broth helps strengthen the gut lining. It's also a great way to start off with some protein. It's got collagen in it, great for your hair, skin, and nails on top of everything else. Love bone broth. That was one of the key things that I used in my gut healing journey, and I still incorporate it. And then the lemon water is similar. So the L-glutamine helps patch up that gut lining, strengthen it. I'm using it now more of like a preventative measure. I don't do it every day anymore, but some days I do have that. And then the lemon acts as a gentle detoxifier for the liver. It also helps kickstart digestion, and it just feels very refreshing first thing in the morning. The only caffeine that I have is in green tea, which I don't drink until after my breakfast. Highly recommend holding the caffeine until after you have eaten something. So the lemon water is a nice way to feel energized, it's refreshing, and it's delicious. As I'm drinking my morning bevy, I will get ready for the day, hair, makeup, dress, all the things. I'll do the dishes, wipe the counters down, do some chores, whatnot. But my goal is no phone until after breakfast. I don't want to start working. I don't want to go on social media, check my notifications, because I get stressed out. Stress is not great for digestion. And I'm also addicted to my phone, like most of us are. It's where my business is, it's where my clients are. So I'm constantly checking it throughout the day. So I don't want to wake up and immediately start doing that. This is something I implemented last year. I don't charge my phone in my bedroom anymore. I leave it in the kitchen, and I don't touch it until after I've had breakfast. I will out myself here, though, because I do wear a Fitbit. That's what I use as my alarm. It vibrates and wakes me up. And my Fitbit has notifications on it. So I do check my Fitbit in the morning before I get my phone. And if I have a text or an email, it will show up on my Fitbit. But I'm not checking social media. I'm not checking my business email because that is not linked to my Fitbit. I'm not checking client messages or anything like that. It is text messages and emails. So I do cheat. I'm not going to say I'm perfect here because I'm not, but I do stay away from my phone and my laptop until after breakfast. After I'm ready for the day and I have drank my morning bevy, I have breakfast. It is my goal to have breakfast within an hour of waking up. I do recommend that for most women. Skipping breakfast can keep our cortisol levels elevated, which leads to an increased stress and inflammation response, which negatively impacts digestion. I do not condone skipping breakfast. I do not condone fasting until noon. If you want to fast, do an overnight fast. I don't eat after dinner, and I don't eat till breakfast. So if you stop eating at 6 p.m. and you don't eat breakfast until 8 a.m., something like that, you've done a 14-hour fast. Great job. You don't need to fast anymore. Eating breakfast also kickstarts your metabolism. It signals to your digestive system, get going. We're eating food, start burning it off. So if you are struggling to lose weight and you're not eating breakfast, that may be a main reason why. If you don't feel hungry in the morning, the lemon water actually kickstarts digestion and can help you feel hungry in the morning. Otherwise, you can start with something small, a small smoothie, a handful of nuts, some nut butter, whatever it is, until you start feeling hungry again, because you should feel hungry in the morning. If you don't feel hungry within an hour of waking up, that is a sign that your metabolism ain't working great. My breakfasts always are very balanced. I aim for 20 grams of protein or more, healthy fats, protein, carbs. My rotation typically involves overnight oats, baked oats, eggs, avocado toast, turkey sausages. Sometimes I'll make protein pancakes or waffles or something like that. Yeah, I know some people hate oats. They think they're garbage and terrible for you. Strong disagree. We can talk about that another time. But you want to start your day with a nice, big meal that is balanced. It gives you energy for the rest of the day, makes you feel satiated so you're not hungry an hour later. That used to be my problem, but now I eat a nice big old breakfast with lots of protein, healthy fats, carbs, and I'm not hungry again until 3 or 4 hours later. After breakfast, I will make myself a green tea with collagen if I didn't have bone broth. If I had bone broth in the morning, I'd skip the collagen. I just feel like that's kind of double dosing and I don't need that much. If you want to, you can. I'm just saving my money. So I have my green tea and that's when I reach for my phone. So I will check my notifications, start working, do client calls, all that good stuff until lunchtime. I do try to get up in between. I'm not just sitting there for like 3-4 hours nonstop doing stuff without getting up. I mentally cannot do that. I get very antsy. So I live in a small condo. I don't really have far to go, but in between calls, I'll get up and, throw the laundry on, or I'll go stand on my balcony and look outside, just something to get up, get away from my computer and take a 5-minute mental break, and then I'll come back to it. But honestly, I do not get a lot of steps during the day because I live in a small condo and I work a desk job. Once lunchtime rolls around, I will have my lunch and I do not eat it at my desk. I sit at my kitchen table, I work from home, and I have my meal. I do deep breathing before all of my meals. Didn't mention that at breakfast, but I do. I literally do like maybe 4 or 5 deep breaths, and that helps me get out of fight or flight, helps me get into rest and digest so I can actually eat my meal in a calm state and digest it and not get bloated. Please don't eat your lunch at your desk, watching TV, doing all of those things. Your body doesn't know that you're eating, so it's not creating stomach acid. It's literally not prepared for you to send food down there. It's like a big old surprise, and your body's like, what the hell? We weren't ready for this, and that is why you're getting bloated and gassy. You could eat the healthiest thing in the world, but if your body isn't ready for you to eat anything, you're not going to be able to digest it. I literally schedule myself from 12 to 1 every day for lunch. I do not want to be rushed. I don't want to be forcing myself to push lunch off and now I'm not eating until 2 or 3 p.m. It's not good for my digestion. I will get bloated if I wait too long to eat. I also block an hour because I want time to make a meal. If I have leftovers or I meal prepped, which I do usually, but not always, I reheat that and I'll go for a walk, which I will get to. But I schedule an hour for my lunch every day where I do not have anything booked. Because taking your time for lunch is important. Taking time to sit down, enjoy, and eat a meal is important. That's going to help support digestion. And you deserve to take a break. You don't need to work through the whole frickin' day. Stress and burnout are other reasons why you have chronic digestive issues. I know not everyone has the opportunity to book an hour in their day for lunch. I understand that. But if you work a 9-to-5 desk job, you do get a lunch. Maybe it's 30 minutes, but if you're working through that, please stop. Okay, this company owes you a lunch. You need to take it. You work very hard for them, I am sure. Take your 30-minute lunch, sit away from your desk, enjoy it. What I eat for lunch is similar to breakfast. I eat a balanced meal, 20 grams of protein or more. I usually make a bowl of some sort. I'm a big fan of bowls. It's just like rice or quinoa with some sort of animal-based protein and some roasted veggies or frozen veggies that I fry up on the pan, and then I add some sort of sauce. Super easy, versatile. I like it. Doesn't take a lot of effort. I don't like cooking, believe it or not. So I just want something quick and ready that's good and fuels my body. Once I finish my lunch, I go for a walk 90% of the time. I will say, if it's raining out, I do not go for a walk. If it's like sprinkling, I will. But if it's like full-blown raining, no, I'm not going. If it is absolutely disgustingly freezing outside, I'm not going. I used to live in Ontario, and now I moved to BC where it does not get that cold. So I really haven't had that issue. It hasn't been like way too cold here. It has been rainy, and if it rains, I'm going to be honest, I don't go for a walk. Luckily for me, it has been an abnormally dry winter here, and it really doesn't rain much in the summer. So I haven't had many rainouts where I didn't go for a walk because it was raining. And the reason why I go for a walk after I eat lunch is it's great for your digestion. If you can go for just even a quick 10-minute walk after you finish eating, that helps boost digestion and prevent bloating and gas from occurring. I also do it because, again, it's great for my mental health. I'm stepping away from the day. I don't have to talk to anybody on my walk. It's like a refresh. I'm out in fresh air, nature, sunlight if it's out. And I usually listen to a podcast. I'll take this opportunity to do something that I want to do. I'll listen to a podcast that I like and go for usually a 25-minute walk. It also helps me get some steps in because, as I mentioned, I live in a condo. It's not very big. I work at my desk. I wish that I had a standing desk with a walking pad, but I really truly do not have space for it in this area. One day, that is the goal. So if I don't go for a walk during the day, I literally have like 500 steps by the time I'm done working, which is very sad. So I make sure I get out and get a walk in, and that usually brings my step count up to like 3,500 steps by the time I'm done working, which isn't great. I know that. And that's why I'm telling you, I'm not perfect. I do what I can. But if I don't get that walk in, yeah, my steps are weak. After my walk, I come back in and I wrap up work for the day. I make sure that I don't schedule myself past 5:30 because I don't want to be working into my evenings. I want to make sure I have time, to hang out with my partner, do something for myself and not just working 24/7. I also do my workouts in the evening. Once a week, I go to spin class. Once a week, I work out with my teammates from my softball team. We do CrossFit training with a personal trainer on Wednesdays. And then on Sundays, I lift weights at home. So I have 3 dedicated workout days that I make sure I'm doing something intentional. And then the rest of the days, I do my walking. So I'm not working out excessively. I have 3 dedicated workout days. And every other day, I go for a walk. In the spring, summer, and fall, I like to go for hikes. But again, I'm not doing that weekly, to be honest. Maybe 2 or 3 a month, I will go for a hike. But in the winter, I'm not hiking. Not really. Maybe I'll go for like an extra long walk somewhere if it's a nice day. But it's not like a hardcore mountain hike because it's wet and icy and dangerous. So in the winter, I would say I do less than the summer, especially because I also play softball in the summer. So on Monday and Wednesdays, usually in the summer, I have a softball game. So then I'm getting out doing more. But yeah, in the winter, 3 times a week and walks is how I exercise. I would also like to add that I don't make it from lunch to dinner without eating usually. I eat pretty much every 3 hours. So if I'm eating my lunch at 11:30, I'm not making it until 5:30 for dinner. There's no freaking way. I'm starving. So usually around like 2:30, 3 p.m., I'll have a snack. And that would include maybe a protein bar, or I'll make a protein yogurt bowl, hard-boiled eggs, something with some protein. Hummus and crackers is another one that I like. It's not like a massive snack, but it's something that tides me over until dinner, which I do try to have before 6 is my goal. I'm not perfect. And for example, last night I went to spin class at 5:30. I didn't eat before because it was like too early to eat dinner. And I didn't want to eat my dinner and then go to spin class for obvious reasons. So by the time spin class was over at 6:30 and I came home, I didn't have anything prepared. I was starving. So I went out and got takeout, and it was actually gross and I hated it, but I did. I was so hungry. I was like, I don't have anything ready. I can't make anything. I'm so hungry. It's already 7. what am I going to do? So I got takeout nearby. It was bad. There's another example. Sometimes Carly goes to workout class and doesn't prepare dinner, and then she's starving and she doesn't want to make food, so she gets takeout. It happens. And guess what? I felt fine afterwards. I was a little disappointed that the food was so bad, but that was just a reminder as to why I don't really get takeout that often. My dinners are usually similar to lunch: protein, carb, healthy fat, and I try to meal prep on Sundays with my boyfriend. We'll make like a bunch of chicken breasts and we'll couple of cups of quinoa or something, a sauce, have veggies prepared. But, I don't always last the whole week with that, or sometimes we don't do it. And so I'll scrounge something up like a can of tuna with toast. I'm not perfect. I don't always have my meals planned, but I do try my best. And when I don't usually go for takeout. That was a rare instance, honestly. I usually have something on hand as a backup. I like eggs as a quick option. I always have eggs in the fridge. Those are easy to whip something up real quick. Or I'll have frozen like burgers or chicken patties or something that I can just throw in the toaster oven / air fryer and make that really quick. So I have backup options that are easily accessible and quick to make. But honestly, yesterday I didn't have that. I literally had nothing. We were planning on going to Costco, so we just didn't have groceries. So I was like, hey everyone, Carly here. If you are tired of feeling bloated and uncomfortable, which I know you are, I have something that can really help. My free ultimate guide to bloat busting. I've been there myself, and I know how frustrating it is to try super restrictive diets and expensive supplements without getting results. If those methods were going to work, they would have worked by now. That's why I created this guide to offer you a different approach. In the ultimate guide to bloat busting, you'll learn techniques to listen to your body and eat with intention, avoiding overeating and choosing foods that truly benefit you, tips for proper hydration to support digestion and reduce bloating, a guide to delicious foods that promote a healthy gut and how to easily incorporate them into your meals, and effective methods to manage stress, which plays a huge role in gut health. These simple, practical strategies can make a big difference in your daily life, helping you feel lighter, more energized, and comfortable in your own skin. Ready to ditch the bloat without strict diets or costly supplements? Download your free copy today at beyondbloated.com/ultimate-guide and start your journey to a bloat-free life. Now, let's get back to it. F it, I'm getting takeout. And that's fine. It happens. The key is that I don't do it very often because I am usually prepared, but not always. I do also have dessert every single night after dinner. Usually that's like a piece of dark chocolate. I really like 80% or darker, and I'll have 1 to 3 pieces usually. If I'm really feeling it, I'm going for 3, YOLO. Or I'll make my own baked goods. So I love making sweet potato brownies, or I'll make cookies. Me and my family, my mom and my brother's fiance, we do bake day once a month. So when we do that, we each make like a gluten-free, dairy-free, low sugar, gut-friendly dessert, and we all swap them. So I get like 3 different types of desserts and I'll eat those. Yeah, I have dessert every single night. Don't plan on changing that. I really like dessert and I don't have a lot. I have a healthier version and it makes me happy. After dinner, I will make myself another tea, but this one is usually either ginger or peppermint, or I have like a gut health tea that I bought off well.ca. Kind of something calming for the gut. Usually by the end of the day, you've eaten the most. So if anything's going to trigger you, it's like, yeah, I've had 3 meals and a snack. I've been sitting. So I like to have something that's going to help boost digestion, soothe my gut, all that good stuff. But honestly, 99% of the time, I'm good. I don't have any issues by the end of the day because of what I just described to you, which I really don't think is extreme measures whatsoever, keeps my gut healthy. I don't have issues, and it's because I just eat decent. I get movement in, I exercise, and I'm going to get to the sleep portion because that is another part that is important. And I manage my stress. I go for the walk. I do the deep breathing. I step away from my work so I'm not overwhelmed by it. Those are things that work for me. You may have different tactics for you, but that helps me keep my mind centered and good to go for the day. So once I get my tea, I will either wrap something up. So I don't do like hardcore work in the evening, but I might edit my podcast episode or like work on my website or something pretty chill that doesn't involve a lot of brain power and I don't have to do social interaction. Or me and my boyfriend will watch a show or a movie. We really like documentaries on Netflix. That's been our thing lately. Sometimes I'll watch a terrible reality TV show. I enjoy that. But honestly, I don't watch a lot of TV anymore. The only time I watch it is if one of the really bad reality shows that I like comes out with a new season. I will watch that. Or if my boyfriend and I are watching a show together, we'll watch that. But I don't spend a lot of time in the evening watching TV. I'm usually on my phone, honestly, which isn't better, but it's the truth. I'm on my phone or my laptop. Sometimes I'll do some shopping for like the condo. I like to go on well.ca and buy food and like cleaning products that are on sale. Or I'll go on Instagram and check my messages or I'll make my posts for the next day. I do make sure that I am off technology by 9 p.m. at the very latest. That means no phone, no TV, no laptop. I don't charge my phone in my room, like I said, so I plug it in the kitchen and I walk away. I also shower in the evening usually, so I'll have my shower. If I'm going to make overnight oats for the next morning, I'll do that. I'll clean up the kitchen so it's not a disaster the next day, and I'll get myself ready for bed. Pajamas, brush my teeth, do my face, girl things. And I make sure I am in bed reading by 9:30. And then depending how good the book is, I will read until about 10:30 and lights out and Carly is off to sleep. I am pretty strict on my bedtime because I need sleep. I know that when I don't get the sleep my body needs, I do not feel good the next day. Way more likely to be bloated and just exhausted. That being said, I don't always hit my bedtime. When I'm at home chilling on a regular day, it's very easy for me to stick to my bedtime. That's not an issue. But for example, once a month, me and my boyfriend have game night with my family. So we'll go over to my parents' place. My brother and his fiance are there. We'll do game night. I usually don't get to bed until like 10:30, 11 on those nights. And you're probably thinking, who cares? It's like 30 minutes different. It makes a difference to me, truly. So I do it because, game night's fun. We do it once a month. But I do notice I don't feel as good when I go to bed at 11 compared to when I go to bed at 10. So I'd say in a nutshell, that is what an average day looks like for me. There are days when I go out for brunch. I'm not really big on going out for dinner. I like it sometimes, but I'm a big brunch girl. So when I make plans with my boyfriend to go out to eat, we make brunch plans. We love brunch. We're actually going for brunch this Sunday for Valentine's Day. That's when I'm recording this. I make brunch plans with my friends. I'm a brunch girl. So I do go out to eat for brunch. I do the occasional dinner. I would say maybe I brunch twice a month and maybe I do out for dinner twice a month. And when I do that, I just go out for dinner and I enjoy myself. I do look at the menu ahead of time because I am obsessed with menus. I like to plan what I'm going to eat. And it's more just like an excitement factor too. Like I like food a lot. So I'm like, oh my God, this looks good. I'm going to have that. And of course, I am gluten-free and I do avoid most dairy. So I want to make sure I have an option and I'm ready. But yeah, I'll just go out for dinner like a normal person. I just have a good time. The mindset is very important. So if you're afraid of going out to eat, you're going to have gut issues when you're out for dinner. But if you just go there with a good mindset, you're prepared, you picked a meal that works for you, enjoy it. Chew mindfully, slow yourself down, and just be present with your food, your company. I do also get takeout pizza probably twice a month. I'd say it's like every other week I'll get a pizza for Pizza Friday. Sometimes I'll make my own pizza at home, although they discontinued my favorite pizza crust, which is very disrespectful. Bob's Red Mill, looking at you. But I do like pizza. I actually love pizza. So I'll usually get pizza from a place close by on Fridays every other week. So I would say on average, I get takeout or go out to eat 1 to 2 times a week, but every other meal I'm eating at home. That about wraps things up. I don't have a crazy healthy routine that I stick to on a day-to-day basis. I just live generally healthy most of the time. I eat most of my meals at home, but I do go out to eat from time to time. I do get takeout pizza from time to time. I do work out, but it's not excessively by any means. I could probably work out more, to be honest. I am very strict on my sleep. That is one area where I'm like zoned in on because it is important to me and it helps me the best. I don't do meditative practices. That doesn't mean that they're not helpful and that you shouldn't do them. What I do instead is I go for walks and I do deep breathing exercises. I step away from my work. I check in with myself. But I'm not out here doing crazy health shit. I don't have crazy diets that I follow. I eat balanced meals. I eat regularly throughout the day, but I space my meals, not snacking all the time. I work, but I don't work excessively. I just live a generally balanced lifestyle, and that's good enough. Gut health is about consistency. It is not about perfection. I do these things regularly, and I have been doing these things for years now. I'm always improving myself. I'm always adding more habits, I'm always seeing, what can I do better? Because gut health is also a journey. You're never done and can just quit all the habits that you've developed. And I like improving myself. I like thinking of ways that I can better my mental health or my physical health, what I can add to my diet. Like I just added kefir into my diet this week and I really liked it. And that's something that I'm going to keep doing regularly, but I'm not going to do it every day obsessively. What you do most of the time is good enough. So find what works for you, implement that, and don't stress over small slip-ups. If you went out for pizza for lunch with your friends one day, who gives a shit? Enjoy the pizza. I eat pizza every Friday and I love pizza. It's not going to ruin your progress. It's about what you consistently do on a day-to-day basis that's going to help keep your gut healthy and allow you to enjoy the pizza on Fridays. Obsessing over the perfect diet and the perfect habits and doing everything perfect is what kept me bloated for so long. I was living extremely healthy. I had cut everything unhealthy out of my diet. I was eating the most beneficial foods and taking all the supplements and just trying to be perfect. And it was causing me a lot of stress and anxiety, a lot of food fear. And when I finally stepped back from that and thought, you know what? I don't actually think I need to do this perfect. I think I can enjoy myself from time to time. That is when my gut issues completely resolved. So if you are living this crazy, perfect, healthy lifestyle and you're still bloated and you just listen to my day and you're like, I do that plus more. I'm way more healthy. I'm way more consistent than Carly. Maybe you need to take a step back and eat the pizza on Fridays. Maybe you need to do less to provide your gut with more support. On the flip side of that, if you listen to my day and you're like, I don't do any of that shit, but I would like to, I have a free resource for you. If you head to my website, beyondbloated.com/checklist, you can download the Bloat Free Day checklist for free. This is a list of habits that I do almost daily. I don't do all of them every single day, as you just heard, but I do them most of the time. I also help my clients implement these habits to improve their own gut health, and that's for you for free. So head to beyondbloated.com/checklist, grab your free checklist, and one by one, start implementing some of those habits that fit into your life. You don't have to do them all, and you definitely don't have to do them all right now, but start with one, see how that goes for you, and then add another. I hope this episode was eye-opening for you in the sense that you don't have to be perfect and live this crazy, healthy, unsustainable lifestyle to heal your gut. You can just be an average guy doing average day stuff with a healthy twist. Thanks for tuning in, and I will talk to you next week. Did you learn something new and useful today? If the answer is a big, resounding hell yeah, do me a favor. Subscribe to this podcast. Even better, toss a rating in there too. It helps more bloated babes discover this show and lets me keep bringing you this free, gut-loving content every single week. And hey, don't be greedy. Share this episode with your bestie who's always unbuttoning her pants after dinner. She will love you even more for it. Thanks for hanging out with me and showing your gut some love. Keep on putting what you learn into practice and you will be bloat-free in no time. Catch you in the next one. Bye.